Maybe this light?
That's fine.
Yeah, that works. Okay. It's a little yellow. But anyways, here we are. And that's the date. All right. Okay. And we're going over what happened with Chelsea and I. All right. Can you read it? Can you see it okay?
Yes.
Do you mind reading it real quick?
I, Sarah Floyd, bore witness
Okay, go ahead.
to the argument between Mark Gould and Chelsea Kirk on Friday the 13th of November 2020. At around 9:45, I knocked on Mr. Gould's door to wake him and alert him there was coffee made. At 10 a.m., Chelsea let herself in the building to begin her shift as Mr. Gould's assistant. Everything seemed cordial and in good spirits. We joked around for a few minutes until I excused myself to the restroom to wash my face. Chelsea had gone into Mr. Gould's room to work. I heard slamming noises and Chelsea screaming, "You motherfucker, bullshit, I fucking hate you." I exited the bathroom to see Chelsea tangled in the faux ivy cover in front of the front exit, wildly thrashing around and screaming as she ripped more than half of it down. After ripping down the plastic ivy, she came charging back into the building screaming unintelligibly at Mr. Gould. Mr. Gould was attempting to calm Chelsea down and direct her out of the common area, away from other tenants' rooms because of the loud singing she was causing. When Mr. Gould tried to direct her towards my room, a place Chelsea often calms down, he was asking her to please stop screaming, calm down, and breathe. Mr. Gould lightly placed his hands on Mrs. Kirk's shoulders. Mark Gould was so confused as I was as to what started this blow-up. While he had his hands on her shoulder, he was calmly asking her to calm down and stop screaming. You have to go down.
Oh, I'm sorry. This thing. All right, hold on. Sorry.
Yeah, it's,
All right. I just don't want to drop that thing.
yeah, we were
And
asking her to
scrolling
stop screaming.
down.
I was asking her to stop screaming even.
I did. Okay.
Because
Not
nobody
to say a
could
word.
understand what she was saying
Is that good enough? Okay. Go
as
ahead.
he directed her towards my room to calm down. Once they were about a foot away from the half-open door, I was standing in front of them on their right side. The door was on their left, as was the wall. Chelsea violently lunged into the door, making a loud bonking sound and appearing to have hit her face. I gasped in horror, thinking she had hit her face, and immediately began trying to attempt to tend to her. There was absolutely no bruise, scrape, or sign of contact. Still explosively fuming, Chelsea instead showed me her right wrist, which I had previously noticed her rubbing twice. The first time was after destroying the faux ivy facade. The second time, she appeared to be scratching at it as Mark directed her towards my door. Chelsea pointed at her right knee and then resumed chasing Mr. Gould. While screaming, she chased him from the back of the hall into the front room where the kitchen is. She berated him, screaming that he was an asshole and should die, and again that she hated him. She ran out of the building. She was gone for maybe 10 seconds before she ran back in screaming again that her knee was bleeding. It was not.
Sorry.
Chelsea continued that she hated him and that he should die. Mark said, "This is so unprofessional. I didn't do anything wrong, Chelsea, please." He attempted to walk into the front door, outside of the front door, to fix the plastic ivy facade that Mrs. Kirk had previously destroyed. Mark made it about 3 feet from the door when Chelsea lunged at him and began scratching and slapping at him until he cowered and yelped, "Please stop." Chelsea slapped and punched him in the back hard numerous times before flying out the front door and getting into her car. When she got into her car, she continued to call Mr. Gould and berate him. I answered the phone one of the many times she called to verbally abuse him, and she did not even register that I was a different person. Thinking she was speaking to Mr. Gould, she began screaming at me to die, and that I was a stupid, sketchy fuck and I should die. And then I handed the phone back to Mr. Gould, stating that I could not calm her down either. Mark got off the phone after taking it back from me, asking her to please not drive in this state. He went outside to repair the ivy facade, and we both witnessed Chelsea narrowly stop herself from ramming into the back of Mr. Gould's car. She threatened Mr. Gould via telephone the entire day, causing work to be missed and very much stress upon Mark, myself, and anyone else she called in a rage. That's all I have so far.
This is what you've written so far. I have not touched this at all.
No, I know.
Okay, I mean, but
this is what happened, and I think
this
I
is.
could
I
find it.
literally just
Someone
downloaded it from the
suggested.
stick, but this is
Yes.
what you wrote. It's on your laptop right now.
Yes.
Okay.
This is the first.
This is. I haven't.
This is it.
And I've not. Okay.
You
Anyways.
you've had no influence in me writing this. This is what happened. This is what I saw.
Can I ask you? And we haven't really talked about this. Can I ask you what happened when she left? Who showed up?
What do you mean?
Frankie.
Oh, Frankie. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Frankie came in about an hour afterwards, though. It was
No,
a while
right-
afterwards. That's why I wasn't thinking of it right away. But yes, he came in, and then
Because you were taking pictures of all the
yeah, we were
bruises,
taking pictures
and
of
then
your
Frankie was
bruises
up
and
on the roof
scratches, and he was up on the roof. He came down.
Yeah.
He came in through the back
because
and
we could
met
see him in the skylight.
where the whole thing happened with the knee bonking next
Yeah.
to the door. We met him right there,
Yep.
actually. Except for I was on the opposite side this time, and you were right here, and he was right here.
Yeah.
And you said, looking at me, you said, "Frankie, what did we talk about last night?" And
Yeah,
he said,
I was
"Comedy
looking at
night."
you.
And I was like,
Wait, say that again,
I-
please.
He said comedy night.
Wait,
and
I said, Frankie, what did we talk about
Yes.
last night? Okay,
Mark
sorry.
said, Frankie, what did we talk about last night? Frankie said comedy night, and having that stripper comedian that you needed to talk to come and do comedy night. And you asked if he had called her again, and he said no, not yet. And then you gave him her number again, and I don't remember. You guys started joking about something else, and then
And
it was
then-
the bathroom, I think.
And then I went and I printed up.
You
I-
printed up the whole conversation with this lady that you had to try come to comedy night because she wanted to try out
No,
And
I
it's
printed up
not
her
fishy.
profile, which
her
is
profile and the conversation that you had with her,
yes,
which was absolutely just about
Well-
coming to comedy night.
yeah. I mean,
And Chelsea apparently caught the last end and took that to mean that she was being cheated on, but there was no
she
speak
didn't.
of any
I,
of it.
I didn't.
None of it made any sense, and I
I didn't know
the
what
night
she was
before,
talking about until after
I
she
granted
said.
Mr. Gould my access to my Instagram so he could look for these women who needed help. I had no problem with it, being involved in it, and Chelsea seemed to have no problem with it. And being
She knows
involved in
all about
the
it.
week before.
She knows all about it. She's known
And,
about this for a long time. She's
uh,
helped me with this case.
I would not, participate in anything nefarious like that. So there was no reason for her to have this reaction, and
It's a trafficking
no
case.
matter
She
what
knows
happened-
this. It's a major trafficking case.
no matter what, even if it was legitimate, she had no reason to act this way. It wasn't fair.
What was
Anybody-
legitimate? Her.
Oh, even if her claims were legitimate,
Yes,
which they are
got
not,
you.
which they are absolutely are not, and it is definitely. I know that they're not.
You've been here every day.
I've been here every single day.
I don't. I work.
You don't have any time for women, and you haven't had anybody ever here, and yeah, you're not coming here after sexy time. Some chicks sneaking out of here. You're coming in here without enough sleep and like rubbing your face, trying to get your shit together to work more. That's all I've ever seen you do. I know you're not cheating on anybody. I don't think you're taking much time to take care of yourself at all. I don't think you're doing anything much other than working, to be honest.
Yeah.
And then this sort of stuff is happening and causing trauma and trauma responses. And you got beat up, Mark. And she was screaming like my mom, who has a personality disorder, and it's scary.
The pictures. I was looking at the pictures you took, and she scratched my back and she wailed on me. I mean,
She punched you at least 30 times.
I
was-
cowered
The
down.
only reason she didn't get your face is because you cowered.
I cowered down, just and I was screaming, "Stop hitting me!
You
Stop!"
didn't
But
scream. You yelped. You sounded like you were like, "Please stop!" Like you didn't know what to do. You weren't even angry. That's
I wasn't mad. I was just
I've
didn't. I
never
didn't
seen-
understand what was happening.
like,
I didn't understand why she was
I was
upset.
actually impressed with your ability not to touch her and to like ball up like that. You just balled up like this.
I don't want to
Against
hurt her.
The white thing.
Holy shit!
3 feet from the front door.
There was-
You don't want to hurt her.
I-
But you were being beaten, literally beaten, and she was screaming over something. First of all, we didn't even know what she was talking about yet. Second of all, it didn't happen.
She said, "What's 661? What's it?"
I couldn't even understand what she was screaming. Half
I
the
have to
time.
have glasses. That's why I have glasses. I have to see. I didn't have the
And
glasses.
as
I
soon as
like
she
looking
pulled
at
up,
trying
I
to do
was
this.
like, yes, this is about the trafficking case. That I agreed that, of course he could use my not my Facebook, my Instagram to look through these profiles and find who he's looking for. I have no problem with that. So I knew about it. She knew about it. I've talked to her about it. I know she knew about it.
She didn't even give me a chance to show her anything.
She
Let me
didn't
ask you,
seem
how
to
long?
Want to. She had a rage
No,
fit.
How long were we in here until you heard screaming? How long were?
I seriously washed my face, and as soon as I put down my washcloth from drying my face, I heard screaming. And I
How
heard
long did that take to wash your
calamity.
face?
Maybe 5 minutes. Maybe 5 minutes.
Okay. Okay.
And there was water running, so whatever before the water running, I didn't hear that. Like
Got it.
I would say 5 to 7 minutes of washing my face, and I brushed my teeth too. So maybe I could have been in there a total of 9-10 minutes. But by the time that passed, I came outside, and she was outside in the ivy, and there was just screaming, and she stayed here for a good 45 minutes doing this. It was
This happened over 45 minutes.
in and out. In and out, in and out. You don't remember her leaving and coming out? She said came back in saying her fucking knee was bruised. She came in.
Sarah, I don't
fine.
remember. I don't
Okay.
remember.
She came in, everything was
I
fine.
seriously
We made
do
a
not
joke.
remember
I
any
asked
of
her
this.
if she would use Instagram, or not Instagram.
I mean, I don't remember a lot of this. I don't remember.
Thing.
This went on for 19. How long?
It went on for like 45 minutes because she just screamed at you and she kept acting like she wanted to leave, but then chasing you back down and screaming. And then I thought it was fine. I was gonna let you guys even have the room just to chill out because it's like kind of dark and chill in there, and there's like soft blankets.
Where were
whatever.
we when you came out?
When I came out, she was in the first time
Okay,
she
she
was
was
in
in
the
the
bathroom.
Ivy.
She was in the Ivy. Then I walked back because I thought you guys were having a conversation and I needed to be out of the way.
Wait, she was thrashing the Ivy.
After that,
She
when
thrashed
she came
that.
back
I
in
was
after
just-
that, she looked like a fish caught in a net, dude. It was crazy, but an angry fish caught in a net, and she was ripping it down.
She's got to have way more scars and
Really?
bruises from that because
Yeah.
it's mesh. It's
She got
plat-
it on her wrist from the metal thing that she was ripping it down, and then she scratched that. I believe, I can't prove this, but I believe that she scratched her already scratched wrist while you had your hands on her to make it appear as if you had hurt her. That's what
How
it
did I have
sounded
my
like.
hands on her? What was I doing?
And I'll demonstrate. You were like,
What?
will you sit up straight?
Hold on. Yeah, like. Okay, hold on. Get the camera going. So.
Said-
Right. I'm her,
Can you
right?
see- yeah, you're her. And
Yeah.
You said, Chelsea, please, no, you've got to stop screaming. Stop
Okay.
screaming like this. Like,
Yeah.
the most you could have done, you didn't have your fingers dug, you didn't
Yeah.
have a claw grip, nothing like
No.
that. Like this. Your palms on her shoulders like this.
Yeah.
It was a
And-
soft touch, I could tell. And then that's why when she flew into the door, I was like, holy shit, what the fuck just happened? Because it didn't make any sense from the way you were holding her, from the fear in your eyes, too. You were looking at me like, what do we do?
Yeah, because I kept looking at you, going, I don't
And I
know
was like-
what. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know
was
why
doing
she
the
was
same
yelling.
thing. My
I
mouth
didn't
was open,
understand.
my hands were up. I looked crazy because I went in the back after you got her out of the Ivy and she came back in again. I went back in here. I guess I didn't add that part. I went back into the back bathroom to check the laundry, where the laundry room is, and
Uh-huh.
then that's when I came out and you would have had to put your hands on her and be like, come in.
Because she was in front of.
And that's why I was
Keenan's-
right
She's in front of
you.
Keenan's door.
Yeah,
I
you were
mean,
like, no,
right
we
in
don't
front of
do
his
this
door.
in front. We don't do this
It's-
to other people.
We
is
don't
what
do
you
this to
said.
other people. What are you doing? We don't do this to other people. That's all I could stop. I didn't understand why she was yelling at me. I didn't understand.
I was, and I'll be honest, I was suspicious at first because I thought that maybe something was wrong, and then when I was there and I realized it, and she talked to me, nothing happened.
You heard what
Innocence.
Frankie said. He was right there. I couldn't have staged Frankie showing up.
No, and when
I went
tried
and
to
I
talk
printed
to
up the
her
the
and
thing
she
immediately.
thought I
Here's what it
you,
was.
I realized that she wasn't there to listen. She wasn't there to have a conversation. She wasn't there to work. She was there to fight. There was no other Chelsea there. It was scary. She was not reachable. It honestly made me worry about her.
I didn't realize it took that long.
It
I
was,
had no
it was
idea.
very long and it was scary.
I
And
had
she
no-
stayed outside threatening you for so long, and then she tried to ram into your car, and that was a good 10 minutes because we were on the phone, maybe
Wow.
15. You should look at your phone log and we'll know how long she was outside. I got on the phone with her. hung
She
up
didn't know it was
15
you though when
times.
you got on the phone with her, right?
I don't know.
No, there's no way she
I
knew
said,
it was
this
you.
is Sarah. And then finally, when I said, no, Chelsea, he's really talked to me about it, she said, no, exactly. It's more bullshit. And I was like,
But her
"What?"
voice changed when she knew it was you.
Yes, but no, and then she immediately started screaming at you, thinking you could hear like she was on speaker.
Oh, okay.
She wasn't on speaker, and she didn't realize that. So I guess she didn't realize that.
Oh, she
So
thought it was on speaker. Okay, there you go. That
that's
that makes
right.
sense.
That
That
was
makes
my
sense. That makes sense.
assertion of the situation. Is what I think.
That makes sense.
And I mean, I was awake. I had been awake for a couple hours by then. You had just woken up, so it's easy to realize why you wouldn't remember. Besides how traumatic this was, like you were like, "Wait, what? You hadn't even had a cup of coffee and the shit started." It was nuts. I
didn't-
woke you up to tell you coffee was on. She came in. We all started making coffee and joking around, and then atom bomb.
It was insane. I and the way you remember it, wow. I didn't understand.
I have
I
a
wasn't
photographic
clear.
memory when it's not mine.
What's that?
I have a photographic memory for a lot of things.
What else did she yell?
You were lying to her and you're cheating on her, and she's hitting on you, not hitting on you, but hitting you, slapping you. So I would hear a slap and some sort of like, "Fuck you, I hate you." It was nothing intelligible. She didn't ask you any actual questions.
She didn't get.
just shouted accusations at you and hit you.
She just went for it. I mean,
Yeah.
it didn't stop. I couldn't get her to calm down and tell me what the hell.
I don't
didn't
have
understand.
reactions like this, so I don't understand them, but they do terrify me and they traumatize me, and I know they do you too.
And I remember how did you feel afterwards?
I was very traumatized. I had a really hard time calming down. I had a panic attack, and I have slow burn panic attacks where I don't tell anybody and I just try to deal with it, but then people think I'm being mean, and I'm not being mean. I just can't deal.
My God, yeah,
Well,
I
I'm
saw
rocking
you.
now talking about it because I can't.
I
And
saw
that's-
you. I saw you, and I was like, "Are you okay?" And I got it. I
Uh,
thoroughly understand. I do the same
No,
thing.
but
I
you
do the
weren't
same
okay
thing.
either, and we were both panicking. So we're trying to panic and try to calm her down. But then I was trying to explain to you that there's no way to calm her down, and the reason that I know this is because I was raised around people that acted like this, and I lived, I married a person that had explosive fits like this, and there's no calming them down until they decide they're calming down. And it's terrifying, and I don't know what to do or how to help. And me feeling powerless was part of my panic too, because I couldn't help,
Yeah.
and I felt like an asshole because I couldn't do anything.
Oh God. I just. Wow. She didn't.
I wanted to calm her down too, but then also I knew that I there's no logic when someone is like that. You're not going to logically explain something to them. You're not gonna, not even with evidence. She's not going to care, because it's like feeding an emotional need almost. It feels like the way she was acting anyway. It just felt like there was no calming her down. She's going to be right. She's not going to listen to any side other than what she feels, the emotional side, and it's scary.
Yeah. There was. She would.
And I mean, when we did the demonstration, we were standing the other way, but it was clear. You weren't pushing her hard. There was no fast motion with you. You weren't shoving her.
No.
You were saying, please.
Calm.
And you were
Breathe.
trying not to scream because you're right next to Keaton. It's
Right in
like
front of the
half the door away.
He was right there. He's in there. We can hear everything.
He has odd sleeping hours too.
And he's got
disabled.
got issues.
Yeah,
and
that's why he's
he
disabled.
can't. She can't do that.
No, you can't do that to people in general. But
God,
not
she
good for
did
her
not-
either.
She did not care. She did not care. She
No.
did not
She
care.
didn't see anything but her rage and what she wanted to think.
And she has not stopped. It has not stopped. It's how many days later? It's the
She
17th.
hasn't texted me again.
She
I'm
emailed.
not-
She
I don't wanna
emailed
get
me
it.
rages last night, and my bruises. I'm bruised all over. Look at my arm.
I know you are. I took the pictures. I saw it happen.
I'm-
I saw her grabbing you. She grabbed you and threw you against the wall too. I forgot about that. That was another one I didn't. Over by the bookshelf, she smashed you into the bookshelf. Remember?
No.
Yeah, she said right before the door. She hit you into the bookshelf.
Oh, and that's where they have the hand mark right here.
And, yeah, and this one too. 'Cause she was grabbing you like this, and then she's like, "Fuck you!" And then she started walking away, and you're like, "Chelsea, please stop, calm down. You can't drive like this." You
Oh,
did
I
say
didn't
that
know this.
a number of times.
I don't remember this.
It wasn't all on the phone.
I didn't understand why I had it here. I didn't understand why. I didn't
She
understand
She
it.
shouldn't have been driving in that state. And then also she was threatening to call and ruin your work, your jobs. She was threatening to
Kill
call-
herself.
Kill herself. She was threatening to call Andy and blow things up for some reason. She was threatening to
This domestic
destroy
violence
everything.
restraining order.
File a restraining order.
She sent me a picture of her wrist. I'll
Sent
show
me
you the
a
text.
picture of her knee
She sent
and her wrist.
she sent me a picture of her. Thanks for or no. She sent me a picture of her wrist and she said I'm found domestic violence restraining order.
She did say that to me. It
Did
was
she
like,
send that to you?
No.
That's what she sent to me.
those pictures to me, and she's like, look what he did. And I was like, well, what happened to your face, Chelsea? Because I thought you hit your face when you went into the door. And I wasn't trying to be a bitch, but it was so obvious that she smashed her knee into the door, and it was her fault.
But she made it look like it was her face.
That was
That's what I
performance art.
thought.
I thought
That's
she
what
hit
I
her face.
thought.
That's why I gasped. I don't react like that. Do you ever see me go, or anything like that? I don't do that, like, just for kicks. Like, she terrified me.
Freaked me.
I thought she was hurt. I
It
started trying to
freaked me
parent her.
out. And I'm holding my hands like this.
I know. Then
The fuck?
as soon as she did that, you just like stopped touching her, and it wasn't like you.
No,
let her
I didn't
go.
stop. I started. I
It
did.
wasn't even like you let her go.
I wasn't
It was
touching
like
her. She went
she
at this
threw
point.
herself out of your hands, and you were just like this, like where your hands had been. There was no Chelsea's body. She threw herself out of your hands. If that makes sense.
Yeah, that's how. I didn't understand what had happened. I didn't understand why.
You weren't gripping her, Mark. You weren't holding
I
her.
thought
She
she
would have
tripped.
bruises
I
on
thought,
her
but she didn't
fucking
go anywhere because she
shoulders.
wasn't moving.
I
I
know
wasn't
you
moving
weren't.
her.
I know you weren't squeezing her either.
No, she doesn't have any bruises. I didn't do anything to her.
I know you didn't. I'm just trying to tell you that I saw it, and that's it. I mean, I don't mean anything like.
No, I understand. I'm just saying that,
I don't
but
wanna
she's
make
not
you
sending me
live this.
pictures of hand marks on
There's
her.
no real evidence because there isn't any real thing that happened. She did that to herself. She wanted to feel bad. She wanted to be pissed at you. She wanted to leave, I guess. She wanted to have a scene. That's what it feels like. I mean, I'm not a doctor. I can't diagnose her, but it seems very similar to things that I've seen with my own mother, my ex-husband, other people that had personality disorders and had no regard for anybody else in the room when that was happening.
She did not care. She didn't want. If it didn't matter what the evidence.
She didn't want my
She
help.
asked
either.
me questions
She wouldn't
of
let
which
me go
she
tend
wouldn't
to
allow
her
me.
knee at
I'm
all.
sorry?
She wouldn't let me tend to her knee. I was like, let me see your knee. She wouldn't let me look at it. It was weird. That's weird. If you're actually hurt by somebody, why not let the witness look at your injury?
But she wasn't. She had plenty of stamina the entire time to beat the shit out of me.
And
I mean,
keep running in to do it.
she kept. Nothing stopped her.
No,
I
wouldn't
thought
listen.
she hit her head.
I thought she hit her face. I thought she
Her
hit
face. Yeah.
thought
I mean,
she
I
was
could just see the
super
back of her.
nervous.
I'm like, just calm down, please. Just calm.
She threw
down,
herself in and
please.
hit the corner of the door with her knee. Her right knee. She stuck it out and broke it.
But then she went to her face.
Because she wanted it to look like that. That's my theory.
Well, but she went like this, and I was like, oh my! I mean, you gasped. I fucking.
I know.
gasped. I was like,
it looked
holy
like she hit her
shit!
face, but she didn't.
Because we freaked out. Like, whoa, what the fuck?
I
couldn't-
immediately started trying to get a first aid kit. And nothing was wrong. And then when she said she was bleeding, I was like, here, I'll clean it up. I got this out already. She wouldn't let me like wipe it down. Nothing, because it wasn't even open. She didn't cut her knee. It wasn't bleeding.
No, she was. I didn't understand the knee thing. I never saw it.
The knee thing was because she stopped herself from
I-
hitting her face with her knee.
I thought
when she threw herself into the door.
No, I get that part. I couldn't see that, but you saw that. But what?
I
But
was
what?
standing
But
at
what
the
I
angle,
saw.
but with the angle, all I saw, what the way it looked, is that she was smashed her face, and then
Oh man! And
Didn't.
then I only saw it for a second because she turned around right then, and then she went at me again, right there in front of Keenan's room.
and then she chased you into the living room, well, the kitchen, whatever,
The
the
bar
common
area. Yeah.
She chased you in there
Jesus. I'm sorry, Sarah. I'm really sorry.
twice. She chased you back here.
And out of the front door. Or ran out, came back
all
in.
the way, all through the entire place, the entire first floor.
I could not stop her. God, she
I
could
know.
not calm down. She could not. And she's done this to me so many times lately. And then, but I can get her calm now, and I remind her, hey, wait. After she blows up and screams at me or throws shit at me, it's me. Recently, not this one time before. We talked about that in the car. Remember when we said domestic violence lifestyle? Remember that? What? 2
You guys
weeks
have
ago.
been making very dark jokes about her hitting you for a while, and they kind of bother me.
Because she's been fucking hitting me.
That's why I'm never like ha ha ha. I'm like,
Because I'm just establishing
funny,
that
dude.
she's been hitting me.
I know, but
And-
I don't
and-
ever laugh if you.
No,
don't
I know.
notice.
I get. No, you don't. But it is. Yeah.
She does,
Yeah.
and she hits you.
She knows I'm not gonna say anything.
She'll laugh and she'll punch you. You realize that, right?
Yeah. She hits me all the time. It's
I
getting
know.
worse.
Fucking, and now she's bruising you, and
That's why I don't stay at her
she's
house
not gonna
anymore.
stop.
I don't stay at her house anymore because she
Oh my
hits
god, I
me.
can't imagine.
I mean,
I'm sorry.
it's just a fucking mess.
Oh my god, remember how in September, this is totally unrelated, so does
Should I shut the camera off?
I don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Shut
I'm
it off.
sorry.
Is it unrelated at all to this?
It's unrelated to this completely.
Okay.